Live. What's good, great people? I am Isa Moon, and I have a special guest in the building today, Kirby Denise. She shall be joining me for a frank conversation. We're going to be talking about business, philanthropy, about her. Yeah, this should be awesome. So, I want to give a big shout out to my sponsor, Red Crown. Join the Crown Club by going to KROWNKLUB.com and purchasing your drip, your fit, all that great stuff, and wearing it on your body as you go out and you visit places and you see things. Oh, she's already here. All right.
Hey.
Hello. How are you?
I'm fine. Let me fix my iPad here. How you doing?
I'm well. Just thankful for another day, trying to continue these interviews. What's going on with you?
I am blessed. I am loving the weather's changing. I'm feeling good. So I'm here and I'm blessed and just happy to be here.
Man, talk about that weather change. Tell me why I tried. So I was supposed to go out yesterday, and I came dressed as if it was going to be 50 degrees all day, but apparently it decided to add 20 more degrees because that's just what life does, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And where are you located, Isel?
Oh, I'm about 4 hours from you now. I'm in Maryland.
Oh, you in Maryland? Okay, because I know I got that bipolar weather. You know, shorts or So, but I'm just glad that we can go outside.
Amen to that one. Amen to that one. I have some questions for you, right?
Yeah. I'm ready.
Okay, so you're in North Carolina. You've always been in North Carolina?
No, I'm from Virginia.
Okay. Now let me ask you a question. As someone from Virginia, did you ever call it the DMV, or were you like, nah, I'm from Virginia?
I'm from the Virginia because I'm from the sticks part of Virginia where there's like country part. So I'm closer to North Carolina. So
okay.
I didn't even know I realized there was another part of Virginia really until I got like up my high school age. And I'm like, wait, this is where I live. I live closer to North Carolina. So I referred to it as the DMV once I got to college. So.
Okay. That makes sense. So either way it goes, you've been eating cookout your entire life.
No, I didn't eat cookout until I came to school. So,
okay.
Yeah, I experienced that as a freshman, and it was on from there. So
that makes sense. Now, I wanted to, as someone who's an educator, right? I wanted to inquire with you. You said you have this background in education, and it brought about some qualities that you noticed of how you're a giver. And I want to understand what is it about education that really just lets you know that that makes you so reflective and be able to pull that quality and be able to express it and convey it.
Well, as an educator, I was a counselor, so I was a natural helper because I wanted to I have a big heart, right? So you have to have a big heart and a big love for people to do that. So what I used to do, I used to really go above and beyond for my students. And do something different, So you really, once I got out of education and transitioned into business, my students would come to me and say, hey, or it's those messages you would get. Yeah. Hey, this is what you said or did for me to, make me who I am today. So that was very impactful for me, just knowing that I was a natural giver. I wanted to do more, but I didn't know necessarily how. So as an educator, you're able to do that and just really impact somebody's life for the better. So that's where my passion came from, because I always knew I wanted to help people, but I just didn't know to what extent. But then I became an educator, and that's what happened. So just a natural giver, and always wanted to provide and help people. I've been that way my whole life. So that's
awesome that that you have that perspective, because a lot of nowadays, well, not even nowadays, I mean for forever, everyone has always been like, hey, do for self, make sure that you're providing for you. You don't have to really worry about anyone else. Let other people handle their own problems. But for you to go above and beyond for the students that you care about and not just be there for that paycheck and go home, it speaks to your character, you know. And I wonder, how does this translate to your business acumen?
I always say service before self, because the more people you help, it will come to you. You don't have to do things and expect a reward. You should do things out of the goodness of your heart, and you get it back twofold. You know, if you have a genuine heart, you want to help people. Whatever you do for others will come back to you. You know, somebody will either sow seeds into you. You know, you might not get it back tomorrow, but it'll come back to you. You know, so you just have to have that mindset and mentality no matter what you're doing. You know, whether it's business or whatever, because I think it's Jim Rohn that says the more people you help get to where they want to get is where you get to where you want to be. So it's just about helping people, pouring into others. You'll get it back. Service before self is always my motto, no matter what field I'm in or what area I'm in.
Most definitely, most definitely. That's a good one. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm like, you know, see, look, that's another tattoo, like right there. I'm thinking, okay, service before self. That might go on the wrist. Hold on, you know. The more interviews I do, like the more tattoo ideas I get.
Oh, God.
So I appreciate you. But you know, I want to ask you. You know, I know we talked about this question, right? About, you know, hey, you know, what got you into the world of consulting other businesses? But you know, what you do is, you know, you make things. How do I put this? You reduce the cost of doing business for different entrepreneurs, different businesses. So I was wondering, you know, what got you into that world, and how exactly is it that you're doing that?
Okay. I'll explain it because, well, I got into business. I would like to say by accident, but really it wasn't. It was for me. But you know, I graduated school, of course, A&T. I paid out of state tuition, so I had a lot of student loans. So I was at a point in my life where I had just bought a house and I was working in a school system, but I was working 3 jobs, and I'm like, wait, this can't be it, you know. So I was introduced, you know, in college or whenever you go to meetings at people's houses. And it's usually about, I know back in the day, it was like Kirby vacuum cleaners and stuff like that. And my friend invited me to a meeting, and I was like, oh, Lord, what does she want me to come? I'm thinking, oh, about some makeup or something.
Right.
But when I got there, it was the company that I partnered with. And it just made complete sense because what I do is I help people pretty much monetize on their monthly expenses. So people have those anyway. So whether you're an individual, you're going to pay your internet, you're going to pay for phone, you're going to pay for that stuff. So when I was introduced to the concept of monetizing that, it made sense to me. Now, the reason why I wanted to do it is because, like I said, I'm from Virginia, went to school in North Carolina, which means that I know a lot about Sallie Mae and direct loans.
Yeah.
So I was like, student loans, it's like you can't keep going back to school to defer your loans. Like, you can't keep doing that because you're acquiring more debt. There's nothing other that you can't go beyond a postdoctorate, right?
Right.
Stop school eventually. So I was like, okay, I'm tired of going to school. So, but long story short, I was introduced to the concept of residual income. That was not something that my parents taught me. That was not something that I learned early on. It was something that was introduced to me to the concept of this business. Now, what I'm able to do, and the reason why I liked it is because, hey, wait, I get to help people make more money. Because at the school, I was just helping people, but I was punching pennies every month, you know, making. So when I was like, wait, I can help people with their bills because everybody has that. That's +1, you know, that's what makes sense. But what I like, the concept of what I do, I learned it. I can teach it. So I'm still doing education. And then I can help people by reducing their expenses and then showing them how they can monetize on it. So it's kind of a win-win situation. So that's how I got to advising other businesses. Because I do so much. I call myself a consultant because it's so much I do. I'm in the area really of financial literacy. You know, I do scholarship. That's what I did when I was a counselor. So I'm an advocate for that. And I'm an expert at that because I help people really go to school for free. So I call myself a consultant for that part. But then from there, I got into business because I say, well, how can I pay for my education and then keep me from, you know, one day I'll have kids from having to have them get loans. I didn't want my kids to have loans. I want to be able to do that. So that's why I got into business for myself, because I can teach people that, whether it's business or individual. Now, business owners, I teach them how to reduce their expenses because you saw what happened with the pandemic, right?
Of course.
A lot of people struggle. A lot of business owners struggle because they're trying to keep their business afloat. And what happened to the world? We went from brick and mortar to click and order. So, you know, everything is online. So you got people paying for leases, not even in a business. So who doesn't want to be, you know, but business owners may not know that there's ability to, you know, monetize or help reduce those expenses unless somebody like myself, who's a consultant or expert, can go out there and give that option to them. So that's basically in short what I do.
That's what's up. Hey, look, no, not in short. They need, people need these explanations because they need to seek you, especially the entrepreneurs that I know that are watching. Like, because I said that, hey, you know, you're gonna want to tune in tonight. Like, there's gonna be some knowledge that is gonna be presented that I feel could, you know, help advance you and even help me out because I'm trying to, you know, build my dream.
Build your dream. I know. I saw you. I'm like, I'm so honored. I want to tell you something real quick. I'm so honored to be doing this video. I mean, doing it with you because I saw your credentials. I saw who you, like, you got that Mark Cuban. Like, how in the world? And I saw him, like, you just, you know how they say closed mouths don't get fed?
Yeah.
I'm like, you literally shot your shot, got that interview. I was like, that's what's up. I love stuff like that. I love it. So, you know, thank you for even having me, you know, on your platform just to share what I do and being able to let people know there's resources out here. There's people, you know, knowledge is power, right?
Right.
So people who know things and have the resources to share. So thank you for just having me on here. So I had to give you that.
Hey,
flowers.
Hey, look, man, I appreciate it. Thank you for the flowers. I love them. I thank you for that. You know, dang, man, thank you sincerely. Yeah. I also wash my legs in the shower too. So yeah, there's that. You know, I feel like I need to be honored for that too because it's the thing. Not everybody washes their legs in the shower. Go Google it. Go Google it. I promise, it's a thing. Right. But no, I want to, as we sit here and we discuss business, right? I want to, you touched on something that, you know, and I don't know if you did it on purpose because it is one of my questions. Okay. You know, we know that knowledge is power, right? Mm-hmm. But I wonder what makes knowledge power, you know, in your eyes, and how are those that have so little of it, you know, able to ascend to such great heights?
That's a powerful question. But like today's Sunday, right? So I'm having a little biblical. But so, you know, in the Bible, it says those who lack knowledge, what is it? Don't let me mess it up. It's Sunday. The Christian's gonna get me. People perish because of the lack of knowledge. That's what it is. So you basically, you disappear. Knowledge, having knowledge allows you not only to survive, but to thrive. So if you know more, you'll do more, right? So it's like when you have knowledge, you have something that can take you a lot of places and most importantly, you can share with other people. Like if I know something that can put you in a better place, it is my obligation to share it with you. You know what I'm saying? Yes. So knowledge is you share it with other people. It's like I read something. That's why I became an educator, because I knew stuff that could help me. So why not help somebody else? Why not pour into the next person? So it is powerful because you think about the people that are successful. They have the same 24 hours that we have, right? But they did something different to get to where they're at. And what they did that was different, they probably, and I'm saying, and I got this from one of my coaching sessions that I did, or basically, if you want to hide something that's powerful, where do people hide it? Where do most people hide it at? You know, something that could be very valuable. They had it in a book. Mm-hmm. Because most people aren't out here reading that stuff and empower themselves. And somebody else told me this too. What's one room or anything in somebody else's that's very successful? What's one room that they have that's different from somebody that's not successful in their house? Rich people have libraries, or they have an office with bookshelves. So they're constantly learning and they're constantly thriving. And it's like, you know, they're constantly learning stuff. That I was watching something. He's on Instagram. He's like super powerful. Wall Street Trapper. I don't know if
Yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about.
He was on he was on Breakfast Club, and he was talking about how he learned so much about the stock market while he was in prison. And he said that, you know, go watch the video, but he was just talking about how much he read while he was doing, I think 10 years or something, how much he read. And now you look at where he's at, because he said that he had to watch CNBC for the stocks because he was in jail, right? He was in prison before they watch, they share the TV in prison. So you got to get what you want to get. So he watched CNBC before Young and the Restless because everybody else in the jail was watching Young and the Restless. So he got his stuff, his knowledge of finances from the news, and then he went the rest of the day. So it's like that information is in a book. So knowledge is power because of what you can learn and what you can teach others. That's what I think.
Most definitely. It's amazing. I haven't heard that in such a long time about, what is the room that rich people have, that and it is a library. And so, as I sit and I think about this, I do enjoy reading, because it has been something that, that I've been able to make my escapes, as well as, ascertain build my vocabulary and things of that nature. Do you still read to this day? And if so, what are you currently reading?
I'll be honest, because reading, you got to sit there, you got to pay attention. I was bad at reading a chapter and stopping because I get so I'm all over the place, right? So I listen to audiobooks. Nice. And I'll be honest, there's a book that I'm gonna read this month. I hadn't started it yet, but it's a book and it's upstairs in my library or my office. I ain't got no big office yet, but
it's an office though.
I ain't got a library yet.
You working though. We gonna speak that library into existence now.
But it's oh gosh, it's about it's about going number one. And it's about a coach, and my mind is slipping me. I should have wrote it down, but it's the number one coach, and but it's how to go number one. That's what I'm reading, and then I'm gonna read Think and Grow Rich again, because a mentor of mine, Joe Dudley, who's out of Dudley Enterprises. If anybody's from North Carolina, you would know who Joe Dudley is. He told me to read that book over and over and over again until I get rich. And he said, even when you do reach your wealth goals, keep reading it so you can stay rich, because the principles in that book is it's pretty much the Bible for obtaining wealth. And this man is pretty much a multimillionaire, right? Locally and globally too. But he just said, and he keeps reading it. He's like, I read that book over and over again because he's like the principles in there. So I'm gonna read that again. And but those are my two right now. I just read Think and Grow Rich, the Black choice. That version, maybe 2 months ago. Nice. So, but audiobooks are my thing. And then the next book I want to read is actually Barack Obama's newest book.
Okay.
So that's what I read. I changed my mindset. So I'll be honest. Before, when I was in college, I was reading erotica books.
Hey, you ain't alone. Zane, Eric Jerome Dickey.
Yes.
Look.
Oh my gosh. All of those books are like fictional books, but they were good books, right?
Right.
I had to replace those books with different types of. It's just crazy how my mindset has changed about wealth. I read books about wealth, personal development, spiritual. Yeah. A lot of Joel Osteen, a lot of T.D. Jakes books, stuff like that. Because Soul Sister, yes,
Jesus,
everybody. So I read all those books, but I had to change my mindset because what comes in pours out. So I had to put in more negative stuff, financial books. I had to reshape my mind to think about wealth. Not to say that I still don't get me a little crazy book every now and then that I want to read for entertainment.
Every now and again.
But I'll listen to an audiobook. But for the most part, I just had to change my mindset and change what I was putting in, and putting in more stuff that was going to help me in the long run. Because a fictional book, it's fiction. You're reading about things that's fantasy, but I needed to embrace and read stuff that's on reality. So I had to just change what I was reading, and that was just because I wanted to be somewhere different in the next 10 to 20 years and maybe write my own book. So,
Most definitely. I can feel you on that one. I myself am trying. You know, I love fiction. Honestly, I love epic fiction, like, you know, like epic fantasy books. And I definitely still have my thing for comics. I love comics. All that was my thing. And you know, I still had to sneak my Eric Jerome Dickey.
Yes.
Oh my God, that Gideon series. Yes. Oh my God, to this day.
Yes.
But you know what I need to do, instead of rereading Gideon, I need to be rereading Think and Grow Rich. You know?
Reread
that.
but here's the thing, I loved Zane. And oh my gosh, I was reading, I was like, it's hard to put those books down. I got rid of every other book, but I kept my Zane books. But you know, it's just you gotta have a little, you know, you gotta live a little too.
Yeah, you gotta, you know, just a little bit.
But for the most part, I completely changed what I was putting in, so that, you know, just so I could grow. As I got older and more mature, I just started reading different things. So.
Most definitely. It is all about what you are consuming on a day-to-day basis, you know, from the visuals, the audio, to, you know, even the energy that you have around you. It can impact your growth on a day-to-day basis.
Right.
I want to talk about your impact. You know, how do you feel like your work impacts the community?
I would say, with the company I partner with, right? With what we do, we give back a lot to. We partner with Feeding America.
Yes.
And, you know, other. We partner with Ronald McDonald House and stuff like that. So I think that what I'll do, with what I do, I'm trying to think. My education, but really educating people about what's available. Because a lot of people, because I learned about residual income, new to me, but it's new to a lot of people because they haven't been taught that. You know, that was not, we didn't talk about that at home. We talked about, my mom taught me to go to school, get a good job, work for somebody else, right?
Yes.
Tell me how to leverage myself, invest in stocks, start a business, and invest in real estate. That was just the conversation that we have. So what I'm able to do, I'm a huge advocate for financial literacy because of mistakes I made. You know, and a lot of people say, you know, you go to college, you're like, the first thing they offered me was what? Credit card.
Yep.
I'm on campus outside the cab. It's like they be posted up. And my greedy self, I get to get a sub if I sign up for this $500 credit card. You know, so I didn't know, you know, I didn't know that stuff. So because of what I learned, because of me going to school, acquiring all this debt, I'm able to teach youth of today. That's why I was so passionate about, when I was a counselor, I was so passionate about my students going to school debt free. And let me tell you something, for the 2.5 years I was there, my school was always number one for scholarships because I made it a priority to make sure all my students, because I get scholarships, make sure that they were getting full rides, making sure that my students were getting back a check instead of cutting a check at the end of their semester. So because I learned, well, I messed up, I was able to teach the next person by implementing my community things that I did wrong on how they could avoid that. And teaching my students, one of my students was building computers. You know, he was like, he was telling me stuff, you know, just teaching them how to do stuff that was going to make them more money, make them money, basically. And, so she said they come every year to sell credit card. Absolutely. And I got that credit card, because I would pay it off with my refund check, right? It kept going up. It started like 500 and it ended up at like 5,000.
Yep.
Raising on me because I was paying it off. I was being responsible, but you know, homecoming come around and Jiho,
hey,
it cost $300 just to get my hair done. You know, so I was like,
hey, look, you got to go all out for Jiho.
Jiho, you buying bottles, you get
I'll never forget. I went 2014. I'm going back. Let me tell you something. I flew in oh my God, where was I at? I was at another school, JCSU.
Yeah.
I stayed there for a day, then I drove, because I went to the car. I didn't get a spot because I know I was going to stay with the bruds. I drove to GO, the
Right.
greatest time of my entire life. I cried on that campus, man. I was like, oh yeah, this is amazing.
It's like an experience. A&T is an experience. So
Yes.
but this year we are out there. Pandemic is over. Do you understand?
We outside?
We outside.
Oh, baby.
We outside this year. They planned at homecoming. They unblocked the rooms. They said, look, for right now, we have a GHO. And I think I got my vaccine. I'm ready.
Hey, look. I'm getting this second shot in a couple of days.
Yeah.
It's going down.
It's going down. We are open. Do you understand how lit GHO is going to be this year? So, yeah. But it's going to be crazy because we're making up for last year.
Of course.
I might go to everybody's homecoming this year. I might go to Whistler.
I ain't gonna lie to you. It's a couple now. Like NCAT, Tuskegee. I literally was like, oh yeah, I gotta go to. It's a couple.
It's a couple. I might go to Howard this year. I might go to.
Oh no, that one is a definite. Like I'm pulling up. Like yeah, it's around the corner for me now. Like it used to be 21 hours, but now no, it's like 30 minutes. Oh, I'm driving. I'll be there.
Party at your house.
Yeah, look, I ain't gonna lie. I might look. Not to mention it, I might throw a little something, right? Anyway, we gonna see each other at GHO though. For facts.
Perfect.
But I do want to ask you though, why did you feel it was so imperative to continue your education there? Because I know you went there for your undergrad and you went there for your master's. So why North Carolina A&T?
You know what? I experienced a lot of firsts at A&T. First love, first heartbreak. It made me a woman. It raised me, and it's nothing like an HBCU. Of course, I'm Aggie born, Aggie bred, but I love all HBCUs. It's an experience that you can't really explain it unless you experience it. So I decided, to be honest, I had all those student loans. A&T gave me my job. They gave me my first full-time job. And because I was an employee, they paid for my master's. So it was only right that I continue my studies there. And I was already here and I was comfortable. I know that's a C word that you don't really want to use, but I was. And my friends were there. Some of the lifelong relationships. I had a network here. I knew people. So it was just only right that I went to see. Even for undergrad, like being from Virginia, I knew I wanted to go to HBCU, but I didn't necessarily want to go really far from home because I'm still spoiled a little bit, daddy's girl, whatever. So I didn't want to go too far from my house or from my family. So A&T was the best choice for me. Now I only applied to A&T. That's the only thing. It was like A&T or I'm staying at my mama's house. That was the only school I applied to, and luckily I got in. But I knew when I stepped foot on that campus as a 10th grader that that's the school I was going to go to. And it was just only right because I was already positioned there. I had connections. I had the resources that I continue on through my graduate school. So that's why I stayed there, just because of the culture. And I already had connections. And plus, they were paying for it. That was a winner.
Yeah, that's a dub. Easy dub.
That's all I know.
Most def. Yeah. Now, speaking of historically Black colleges and universities, a lot of things that we've been talking about have been centered around things that are Black owned, especially these businesses. Now, we have, recently more talks have been had about, hey, should we be saying support Black owned businesses, or should we be talking about, hey, we should patronize Black owned business, spend our money at Black owned businesses? Because the word support comes with like, oh, hey, with that mindset of, oh, I see you with your little business and everything,
Yes.
Whereas, like, no, man, like this little business got serious paperwork behind it and tiresome nights and, really like stress and things of that nature. So, I wonder, what are your thoughts on the phrase, hey, support Black-owned business versus patronize Black-owned business?
I definitely say patronize Black-owned businesses. The reason why is because support and patronize are two different things, right?
Right.
You can say, I support you and I support your cause, but you know that most people that have a business, they're doing it to take care of their family. They're doing it for income. So saying you support me and just saying you're supporting me, support me versus helping financially are two different things. So patronize Black businesses, meaning that you go there regularly. So here's an example I like to give people, like when they say that I support you, okay? You support me, right? But if your child is selling, I don't know, Girl Scout cookies, and you call me for a fundraiser and you want me to help support your child so they can win a prize. Well, if I say I support you and hang up the phone and never do anything, then I haven't really supported that cause. But if I actually place an order, then I've really patronized that business. Hey, I want to help contribute to your cause. So they're two different things, support and patronize. And patronizing meaning you support me like you're giving financially. Now, maybe somebody's not in position to give financially. We get that. But a like or a share never hurt anyone. A referral is the best thing you can give a business owner. So even though you might not have the income to do it, refer somebody that could, because that one referral could help position my business for the next year. So why not, do that? And I get that a lot with my business. Oh, I support you, or people not coming on this live right now because they don't want me to see that they're watching, but they'll go back and watch it later because they really want to know what the conversation was about, but they won't like or share or tag or support your business. Two different things.
Most definitely.
So it's two different things. And I think patronizing Black businesses, and here's another thing that people say, and I get this too. I've gotten some businesses or Black businesses that haven't been the most on time, or, but that's any business. That's any business. Everybody has their flaws, but why not support Black ownership? Like every doctor I have is Black. My dentist, everybody is Black, because I like to support people that look like me. Because if you go to the Korean store, if you go, ladies, if you go get your nails done, you're not going to see anybody that look like us. They support their own. You know what I'm saying? They support things their own. So why not? We could thrive so much better. And you think about Black Wall Street.
Yes.
And how that was, how they destroyed Black Wall Street. But back then, we worked better together. I mean, when we were, think about voting the election last year. It flipped because we came together. So we come together with business ownership and stuff like that. We, like somebody said, buy back the block. We can do that as a people.
Yep.
We have the power to do that if we support each other. Not compete, not compare, but if we just simply patronize each other, we could do so much better as a race, really.
That makes absolute sense, especially when it comes to if the goal is to buy back the block, then we have no choice but to patronize one another. That way we can uplift, and kind of like going back to what you said, one of the greatest things that you can give to a business is a referral, so that someone else that is in a position to actually patronize the business, how, monetarily, with time, with their efforts, they're able to do that. So, whenever you get a chance, make sure that you refer me.
I got
someone,
you.
To
I'm always trying to plug somebody, like that's what we come resources for. And my motto has never been, I don't know. My motto is, let me find out.
Yes.
You need somebody, that's what that's why we network.
Yes.
That's why we have networks, to share our networks with other people. And generational, just what she said, generational wealth is important. The way that we do that is by sharing resources.
Of course.
And sharing our network and pouring into each other. That's how you create this generational wealth and stuff.
Most definitely. And I want to say, look, if anybody's watching that loves me, go to Kirby.
Appreciate it.
No, I mean it.
Yeah.
I want to turn this conversation to a different direction.
Okay.
And this is because of this was something that I actually talked about with Megan on a prior interview. She brought to my attention that Black women, deal with not only with both racism and sexism.
Mm-hmm.
And her sexism was worse. And, you know, I wonder, you know, for you, you know, which is the harder hurdle to jump, you know, racism or sexism, and why?
I would say racism. Especially now. And, that's a horrible. We got like a double. You know?
Yeah, y'all, and then think about now. I want you to think about it. Y'all got a double, but then also for those that are part of the LGBTQIA community, they got a triple. Like,
you're right.
You know, but from your perspective though, What are your thoughts?
I would say racism, just because, you know, Black women, we're doing so well right now. You know, we're underpaid. Women in general, underpaid, overworked. But I would say more so racism now because, you know, with everything that happened last year with Black Lives Matters, and this man tried to run me off the road the other day, like literally 2 days ago, with his big truck, and he had a Trump sticker on, but like this is just ridiculous, and I don't get a lot, but I'm like, and then he threw his middle finger up at me, so that was just so rude. You know, I'm not, you know, I don't get that a lot, but it does happen. You know, more so now because people are mad. I guess they still mad. They bitter, but
right.
I would say racism, but it's crazy too because you don't get it as much as we used to. But I can see how sexism too, because being a woman, you know, people think that you don't know better, or, you know, we do so much and they'll, you know, take us for granted, you know, what all we do, because we're strong. You know, Black women are strong individuals because we've had to deal with so much growing up, and we've had to see our parents, mainly our mothers, because most, you know, one parent households, other than most. My brother is a single dad. I know you're a single dad too. So father, so, you know, y'all do a lot too. And then, but most of the time you see the mother carrying that stuff, or carrying that weight. So we have to do a lot. So that's a very good question. I would probably say sexism too. Just because racism, we're in a different world now. We got a Black VP, you know, we got people in some very high positions, and Black women are thriving now, you know, more than ever. So I would say probably sexism. It may be a tie, you know.
You know, look, there's no. At the end of the day, there is no right or wrong answer, because all of it is wrong. You know, like why is it that you know you guys have to deal with so much? You know.
Yeah, we have to deal with so much, and but I see it getting better though. With everything that happened last year, all this diversity and inclusion, all of a sudden, all of these companies got these D&I positions. It's like, so what were you doing in the beginning?
Yeah. So
you didn't have anything in place in the beginning, and so now that it's an issue, now you want someone to, you know, it's just I feel like it's getting better, but we still got a long way for both. Yeah.
Most definitely. We do have quite a bit of a ways to go, but you know, speaking of a ways to go for the entire race, let's talk about you. You know, where are you currently on your path of success? You know, and what you know, because success is the journey. It's not a destination.
Right.
So where are you right now?
I would say I'm building continuously. I've been doing this now for about 10 years. I've been an entrepreneur, right? But I've learned so much, and I messed up so many times. So I'm still always in the beginning stages, or building stages. Sorry. So I'll say, I saw a post the other day, and it pretty much describes where I'm at. Last year was about branding. This year is about expanding, because my business goes global, right? So I'm over here in the U.S., yet I have access to do business in 27 other countries. Wow. So my goal right now is expansion and planting more seeds. I mean, I have connections. I've networked a lot. So my goal right now is to continue to build, is to find other people like me who are very open-minded, who are business-minded. And it used to be a lot harder than it is now. But see, I think the pandemic changed everyone's mindset. So now people are thinking, hey, multiple streams of income.
Yes.
So now it's like, oh, the conversation isn't as hard as it was 3 years ago.
Right.
Because people, their mindset has changed. Where mine changed 10 years ago. But, you know, a lot of people are seeing things and how, you know, one stream of income is not enough. And you really need more than that. So I say the building stage, and I'm constantly evolving and growing myself too. So I'm definitely building and doing more. So I would say that's where I'm at. My goal, and this is another thing I learned from Clubhouse. That's what we connected.
So talk to me.
Clubhouse was the best thing ever. That has changed my business. And you know why? Because I'm meeting like-minded people. It was like, I had to stop. I had to take a break from the app because I would find myself on there all day long. And it was just because I was stuck in a room with people who thought like me, who I didn't have to squeeze and pull and say, hey, you want a business? You got to pay some money. You know, I didn't have to have that conversation with them because these people were talking my language. They were talking about not just 6-figure incomes. They were talking 7- and 8-figure incomes that really made me level up. I'm like, maybe I'm selling myself short.
Yes.
They're talking about I had a 6-figure week.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, wait.
Yeah, right. Like it make you want to talk different, you know.
I'm like, I'm hustling backwards. These people talking about, I made 6 figures in 11 days. So I'm like, okay, these are the type of people I need to be talking to. I'm on stages with Les Brown.
Yes.
And people like that, and in the same room with him, in the same room with T-Boz and all these people I look up to, and Eric Thomas and people like that who I would never be exposed to, and you know, not never, but who would be harder to reach in the, you know, on this type of frame like we're doing right now. So it's like that app changed, and I'm gonna tell you, because my goals shifted, I moved my thinking to 6-figure, you know, multiple 6 figures to 7 or 8 figures, and to the point that I've set my goals to make me want to tithe 6 figures. Because if you tithe 6 figures, then you're definitely making more than 6 figures. So I changed my mindset. I changed my goals because of where I'm at in my life. I'm wanting to build and just continue to thrive and grow in my business. So that's where I'm at. So like I said, last year was about branding, and we had some time at home, a lot of time at home. So I was just really continuing to build my network, but now it's time to get out there and get to rolling, because I have all this knowledge. I have the resources. I just got to put it to work. I'm not that I'm not putting it to work. I do more of it. That's pretty much where I'm at.
Most definitely. So I see you. Last year was about branding. This year we on expanding. Let's get it. Look, and I'm speaking nothing but peace, blessings, and success over everything you're doing and everything that you touch. You got this.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Ain't no thing. Man,
you're gonna be you say you want to interview Barack Obama. You got to speak that.
Hey, look, hey, y'all, somebody. Oh, thank you. Oh yeah. I did say that.
You did say that.
I did say that. I am going to interview Barack Obama. You know,
you are.
I am.
You right there. You out there. You got the connections. You can do it.
You're right. I'm closer to interviewing certain people. Yeah. That I've always wanted to, like, because I made a list of. It started off with 150. Now I'm at like 586. People that I've like said I got to interview, and apparently like through my conversations with people, I'm actually closer than I thought. So I appreciate that. I appreciate that because he is right there at the top of that. He's right there at the top of that list. Thank you. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. But let's. I want to get to the goal of this show though, because we talking about your goals. Why this thing was created. And it's philanthropy, you know, garnering support from the onlookers and putting it towards a charity or nonprofit that you care about. So what charity are we going to highlight today, and why is the cause that it faces so important to you?
I would say Feeding America, because like, especially with the pandemic, I was trying to look at the stats and figure that out, but basically 42 million people are without food, or food insecure, because you got to think about it. Kids are at home right now, where a lot of them are on free or reduced lunch. A lot of them going back to school, but for the first part of the pandemic, they were at home. So therefore, they weren't able to get access to food, because a lot of kids, especially kids in urban areas, the only meals they get are when they go to school. So the actual number was, I believe, 42 million were food insecure. Of that number, 20% are Black. Of that number, 13 million of those were kids. And then of that number, 1 in 4 look like us. Right. So those numbers are kind of astonishing. And you think, oh, a lot of people have access to maybe food stamps, but that's not the truth, because you still have to qualify for that stuff. So if their parents lost their job, a lot of people don't want to do that. They want to just figure it out. And then sometimes parents will not eat so their kids can eat.
Yes.
So it's just really bad. And it's, a lot of kids, and this is what I used to tell, because I know, being a counselor, we used to sit out bags of food outside of the store, because on the weekend we would send dry food to kids that were either homeless, and you would never think, some of my top students two of them were homeless, and you would have never known it. And because they go to school and the kids are always like raising their hand, want to participate, me, those kids are usually the ones that, don't get the attention that they're needing at home. They're probably, food deprived. So things like that. So I would say Feeding America is one of mine, just because of the need, especially right now. It was bad, but it's kind of worse now with the pandemic. Even though it's ending, some of those kids, summer's about to come for them. So that means they're going to be back at home, which means they may not have access to food as they did previously. So that's the charity I want to holler.
Most definitely, Feeding America is going to be the one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to definitely tag them and point people to how to go donate their time, effort, monetary money to them, directly to them, and that is amazing. Thank you for that, and thank you for that knowledge as well. Because
sorry.
No, go ahead.
Can I share something too? So like I said, a part of what I do in business, like for every customer that I get, every time they pay their bill. So say somebody gets gas. You're in DC, right?
Right.
So DC is Pepco, right?
If I'm not mistaken, yeah, I believe so.
I think either Pepco or BG. So say I get a gas electricity customer there, right, in the area. Every time they pay that bill, a meal is donated to Feeding America. So that's what we do. So if I get somebody that's gas and electricity, then not only do they save on their bill, which I can be able to position them better on their monthly service, but they'll also be given a meal to Project Feed Kids, which is our charity through Feeding America. So basically it's 24 meals a year. So that's what we do. We've provided so far, I think, 3 million so far over the last years to Feeding America. So that's, a lot.
Wow.
Because every month, and every single month the bill is paid, a meal is donated. So what they do is basically, based on your zip code, they'll donate a meal to a local food bank within your zip code. So that's how it works, and that's how we get back. And I actually have a page, if people want to follow me, it's help_feed_kids. And that's my portion of what I do towards helping educate people about the Feeding America, but everything goes to Feeding America. That's who we partner with. help_feed_kids. And that's going through me, but the meals, it actually goes to Feeding America.
All right. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna definitely tag that as well, because I want people to help that out. I love what it is that you're doing. Now I love your philanthropic efforts. I love what it is you're doing as on the business side of things as well. It's absolutely amazing. Golly, 3 million. That's amazing. Excuse me, real fast. I apologize.
I see something distracting you. I know what it is.
I hate Twan.
You gotta say something.
I hate you, Twan. So help me God. I'm gonna get you after this. I'm gonna get you. Bruh, on everything I love, I'm gonna get you after this. I saw it.
I saw it. I was like,
I'm so sorry. I hate Twan. I was like, fam, she's literally telling me about feeding America. And I'm like, yo, he's calling me a noob. I'm finna kill him. Like, I'm gonna kill him. But
it's the tie. It's the tie.
It is. It is the tie. And I'm gonna kill him. Either way it goes. Anyway, he's an amazing comedian. Whenever you get a chance, you got to go on his page, check out his work. I've actually interviewed him before. Yeah. I'm gonna kill you. Anyway, thank you. I want to say thank you again so much for your time, for your effort, for your energy, everything that you do. But before we close out, there's a tradition here at the Frank Conversation where we always close with wisdom for the next generation. And so, you know, I wonder, you know, what words of wisdom would you have for any entrepreneur that is currently, you know, not seeing any profits from their business and is discouraged about it?
Okay. I would say, first of all, work on yourself. Work on yourself, because it takes time to business entrepreneurship. Despite what the world shows you, it is hard, and it takes a special mindset to do this. So first of all, work on yourself, pray for your business, because that's important too. Network, and what else did I say? Get you a mentor, get you somebody that's good at what you're doing, and follow what they do. Be coachable, learn what you're doing, and learn how to scale up, and then stay consistent. But then I want to also say, you know, a lot of people might be discouraged because you're not getting the support that you feel like you deserve from your friends or family. Here's what I have to say about that. Because I didn't get as much as I thought I should have got it in the beginning. I didn't. And that's really because your friends or family may not know you for business. They may know you for being Pookie or Ray Ray. You know, but they know you for who you are to them, but maybe not as a business. So I would say, don't worry about your friends and family who don't support you. What happens is God will position strangers that will do it. And that's what will happen. That's where the majority of your business will come from, is from people who don't have your last name. And then your friends and family will come around when it's time. But if you get so hung up in, you know, who's supporting you and who is not, your business will never thrive. You have to really grow with strangers, honestly, and network and build relationships. And those who don't support you will come around, and your applause might not be as grand as at first, but they will be once you make it. I mean, that's what it is. I'm sorry.
No, that's real.
What it is. And somebody said, surround yourself with like-minded people. That is key, because and here's another thing. You might lose some friends. I'm just going to be honest. I like to be honest and tell people the truth. You might lose some friends because your level, your growth, and where you're trying to go may not be where they're headed. You might be going in two different paths. And it's not that you're better. You're just thinking differently, and you're thinking more entrepreneurial. Whereas they might be thinking 5 years from now. You might be thinking for like 5, 10, 15, 20. You might have generational thinking where they're just thinking about people tomorrow. So that's going to separate you from them. So and somebody said, don't be the smartest person in the room. That's right. Because you got to find people that make you want to level up. I always make sure now some rooms, like on Clubhouse, some rooms I might be leading the room, but most of the time, 80% of the time, I'm trying to be a student, because I'm trying to learn from people like Mark Cuban. I'm trying to learn from people, you know, that have multi-million-dollar companies, because that's where I see myself going. So I'm always be a student, because you got to always want to learn. You can't, like she said, you can't be the smartest person in the group. Somebody else said, when you level up, you can't take everybody. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I've messed up trying to take everyone else where they don't want to go.
You're right.
You ever tried to put a puzzle piece somewhere that it doesn't fit? That's what happens when you try to take people that don't want to be in that environment. So you got to learn how to leave people behind. As much as it hurts, they will hinder your growth. So you gotta be okay with being by yourself. I mean,
Yeah.
what it is. I mean, it will slow you down. It will hinder you. So, and don't tell everybody your goals. You know, I can go on and on. It's just so many points.
Yeah.
Don't tell everybody your goals, because first of all, everybody that you call your friend ain't for you. They might have something against you and to thrive. I mean, to hinder your success. And what he said.
I'm gonna kill him.
They might say something to you to hinder your success, or just learn to be quiet. Just make moves in silence, and continue to grow and feed yourself with knowledge. That's all. I probably said a lot, but I can tell people this all day because it's stuff I had to learn for myself. So those are probably my tips. Just basically network, pray about your business. You might have to leave some people behind and be okay with that, and level up and get a mentor. So basically, that's all I have to share. Pretty much.
Definitely. I want to say thank you again so much for those words of wisdom, for everything. Everybody that's tuned in right now, please make sure you shoot a follow to Kirby, Denise. Not only that, but man, if you have a business, you probably want to go talk to her. Man, thank you. You have any closing remarks for us?
No, I just want to say, your homie. Let's talk about your sweater.
Come on.
I'm sure you have some words of wisdom for him when we get out.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna fire him up in a little bit.
But no, I really thank you for doing this. Taking time out of your schedule. It was so funny because when we initially chatted we were in a room on Clubhouse, I believe.
Yep.
It was back in December, and I'm like, dang, he booked till March.
Yeah.
I'm like, you made me want to fill my calendar up. So I'm
Look, let me tell you something. And now it's crazy because it's April. I'm booked to October. Like, whoa. Yeah. So it's growing. It's expanding. I'm very thankful for every opportunity that I've been given. And, it's a blessing because I feel like what I'm doing is going to help somebody. From everything that you said, it's going to touch somebody who needed it, and they're going to reach out, and hopefully it establishes a connection. Someone's going to see this and be like, hey, you know what? I need to donate to Feeding America. And that's going to help someone else, and that's literally what I just want to do for the rest of my life. I want to just continue to build those bridges for people and, literally just know that it's helping. I love doing these interviews because I love, that's the selfish part of me loves to listen and take on knowledge. But yeah, man, it's fun. And also whenever people that I interview, they have events and stuff. I like going to the events and be like, hey, I'm here to support you. And they be like, oh my God. Yeah.
I love it. Yeah. I might have to come up to DC. I don't know. Sometime. I'm usually always up there.
Hey, look.
When they start having our events, I'll be up there.
Hey, look, let me know, and whatever event you need me to pull up to, I'm there. And if you need me to do an interview, baby, I'm with you. You did.
I got you. Your way. I'm going to send them your way. That's for sure.
Most definitely. I hope you have a blessed, amazing evening.
Oh, thank you. You too.
All right, we'll talk.
All right, bye.
Bye. Man, oh man, that was Kirby. Denise, you guys, please make sure that you shoot her a like, shoot her a follow. Definitely check out what she has going. Yep, the charity of this video is Feeding America. I want to say thank y'all so much for tuning in. Yeah, everybody, $Moon. If you enjoy my content, 60% goes towards a charity or nonprofit mentioned on the show. 40% goes towards powering the show. I'm Moon. I'm not doing it unless it's fun and it helps people. Peace. Purchase my book, Purple Mike Wants a Bike, at Amazon.com. You can find it there. Just type in Purple Mike, type in Moon, and it'll pop up. If you guys want to follow me, no, not even if, go follow me at Moon_ on Twitter and Instagram. I'm Moon, and I'm not doing it unless it's fun and it helps people.